All right, we've got a question here which says, is being pro-choice sinful? So Josh, what do you think about that?
So I think if we can break this question up into two parts, right? So the first part is talking about sin. So you're asking if something is sinful. My question is what is sinful? Like, what does that mean? What is sin? A long time ago, there was a woman who was asked by her child, what is sin? Now, you might have to go back and rewind this and listen to it again, because it's a little bit of a complex definition. But if you take it phrase by phrase, I think you're going to grab an idea of what sin is. So when her young son asked her, this is what she said. She said, sin is anything that weakens your reasoning, impairs the tenderness of your conscience, obscures your sense of God, or takes away your relish for spiritual things. In short, if anything increases the power of the flesh, our sinful nature, over the power of the Spirit, our godly nature, that to you becomes sin, however good it is in and of itself. So when you think about sin, it's important to understand what it is before you ask if something is sinful. And I think at the end of the day, that's something that you and God have to wrestle with together through the lens of His Word and through the lens of His truth. But Matthew's going to speak for a minute just about why Christians often lean maybe towards a pro-life way.
Yeah, I think Christians have historically been very pro-life as a whole, for a couple reasons. One is, I think, because the Bible gives us so many commands to care for the weakest among us and to love the least of these. And I understand the desire of a lot of people who are pro-choice are because they want to defend women, and women have been oppressed throughout the generations, and there's no denying that. But when we look at the unborn baby, from a scientific perspective, it's not the woman. It's its own distinct human being with its own genetic code from the moment of conception. And so from that point forward, it is a distinct human life. And so for us to say that the woman should have the right to kill that child, well, what's different about the unborn baby than a baby that has been born? There's only 4 differences: that it's smaller, the level of development, the environment that it's in, and the degree of dependency. Now, are any of those things that should disqualify somebody from being a human? Is the fact that a teenager is more dependent on their parents than a full adult, does that make them less human? No. Does where you are change what you are? No. So when you look at all of these characteristics, and you look at the fact that none of them are really defining characteristics of a human being, you realize that there's no significant difference between an unborn baby and an infant. And if we're going to say that a woman should have the right to kill her unborn baby, we have to say that a woman should have the right to kill her infant as well. And I don't think we could say that. Biblically, I don't think we can say that. I don't think we can say that just morally. And so I think if you look at the scientific evidence as well as the scripture surrounding this, I think there are a lot of really good reasons to be pro-life.
And I want to speak to one more thing. The reality is that this is a very difficult issue.
Yeah.
Like it's not this easy, wrap a nice bow around it and be done with it, because the fact of the matter is we live in a very sinful world, like where sin happens. So people can come and be like, look, like this person was assaulted, and as a result of that, this birth happened, right? Or a mother's life is in danger, and so who do you choose? Do you choose the mother or do you choose the baby? And there for some of these, like, it's not like this easy answer, but at the end of the day, what we said on Wednesday night at the rally about, is this about fact or is this about feeling? This is one of those situations, because oftentimes we get in situations where our feelings can be very strong about something, but those feelings should not trump the facts at hand. And so that's where you have to really wrestle with what is sin and what are the facts about life. And then once you understand what those things are and you make decisions on what you believe those things are, then you have the freedom to be able to then say, am I pro-life? Am I pro-choice? Based off God's heart for the unborn and for children.